Welcome back to Edgewater, Saskatchewan for episode 25 with me, MrSealyp. Hello everyone, back again. Thanks for joining me, it's very kind of you. Right, still September 2. As you can see, all the big stones have gone. Money has gone down and then gone back up again. Because I bought the big farm in the last episode. I've been moving some equipment and machinery around and that kind of stuff, as you can see. Land Rover's over here. I was putting the harvester back in the shed because we won't need that now through till next season. I've got a cultivating contract on field 43 all the way down there. But I'm turning my attention to something else. As I was going around doing all the field work, I purchased field 30. That's why the money went down. I've sold half of a double load of fertiliser. Oh, I need to go down there. That's where I was going to start. Oh, it doesn't matter. I'll show you here first. Well, I'll drive down there in a bit. So I've bought field 30. All three of these had were red with stones. So big stone rocks across the whole lot. So as I went around clearing them, and I'm going to tell you now, of those three fields, 145,000 litres of rocks. It was bonkers. I've got my lime production running again because when I finish clearing the rocks off of this field, it needs liming. And you'll see when we check on the liming screen, if we go to here and right, so there's our pH information. So I have limed this one, I have limed that one. This one I've part limed, and this is what it looked like before liming. So it does also explain why, when I harvested on field 31 and field 1, why the yields weren't as good as they could have been or should have been, because they hadn't been limed. I mean, you can see, I kind of don't know when the last time was this was done. So I've got to finish off liming that. But while I was doing that, I was going around and I was looking at all the washouts. And weirdly, as I was doing this, I watched Colder Cornstar, and they've been going through a phase of sorting out all the washouts on their farm. A lot of the washouts where over time you've got a nice kind of, let's get around in the light where you're looking at the better, where you've got a nice kind of a smooth transition. You might have a slight dip, but it's enough and it's grassed or whatever, and the water will come down and the water can run between the two. But over time, as the water runs between the two, it erodes that. So rather than having a nice smooth dip, it becomes a real deep dip, and then you can't drive your vehicles across. The problem then being when you want to seed or you want to harvest or whatever, you can't run right across the field. You've got to come all the way around to be able to do it. So they've got a guy, as have we. We've got Big Ron. Big Ron lives just down the road. Big Ron does haulage most of the year, all over the place, but in the off season when he's not hauling grain and doing stuff for farmers and that kind of thing, he's got a bulldozer, he's got a backhoe, and he does drain tile, he does washouts and that kind of stuff. You also get to a point where they're so deep they become dangerous, the water then sits in them, doesn't run anywhere and that kind of thing. So what I'm looking at doing is, if we go back to our aerial view, some of these washouts, I mean, where we've got these sort of pond areas, it's a little bit tricky to do. But what I'm hoping to do, especially on this field, this washout here, I think I might eradicate it completely. That one there, maybe a bit between there and a bit between there, to allow me to go through rather than to keep coming round. We've got clumps of trees which we're not going to really be able to tackle. That one I think I'm going to fill completely. Some of these ones I think we're just going to smooth out probably. And what I'll probably do is get Ron. I mean, Ron's going to bring his gear over, so what we're going to do is we're going to have a go with it. So bulldozer and backhoe, and we're going to kind of fill them, landscape them, probably plough between. So when it comes to seeding, some of it I will be able to sow right across. That's what I'm thinking. But what I might do is plough right across, so it gives me more room, and then we will still then put a grass bit. I can then still drive across it, but it will give me it will still give me a bit of a washout. That's what I'm thinking anyway. What I've got to do first though, I need to get this liming done. So I'm going to get the liming done first, and then we'll yeah, we'll get on to run. We're losing a bit of daylight today because obviously we're September 2 and into October. And the light will go. So what I've got to do when I've done this, I'm going to whiz down to Brenda's, because I've left my pickup down there. Oh, that's the other thing I'm going to do. I've decided my pickup that I got from Larry was kind of old and patinaed and whatever. I'm going to restore it. I'm going to do some work on it. I'm going to get it pristine. I'm going to get it back to like concourse condition, or at least just looking a bit more fancy. I might get a gooseneck put in the back of it. If I get a gooseneck put in the back of it, it means we should be able to then hook up larger trailers and stuff to it without necessarily needing to buy a lorry, which would make it a little bit more. I mean, it's useful anyway. We've put a ton of hours on it. I might get a new engine, might get a new block put in it, so the hours on it won't. Whoa! So things articulated. I'm going. Oh, straighten up. There we go. So if I open up our sat-nav while we're doing it, we should be able to see, depending on the soil types. At the moment we are on loamy sand, so it doesn't seem to be changing it too much, but it's the perfect pH level for this soil type, so it's all good. It's actually not putting as much down here. When you get onto some of the other soil types, it was honking through it. I mean, absolutely honking through it. So yeah, that's my plan for today. I'm still looking at a plot of land for putting the big chicken barns on. The thing is, the big chicken barns are 120 grand each, and I was thinking, like I said, like 20,000 chickens. Each one of those will do 5,000 chickens. Now, if I recall correctly, when I did Western Wilds, I had one of those, and I didn't start off with 5,000 chickens, but over time, as they reproduced, we ended up with 5,000 chickens in there, and I'm sure we were getting through, I want to say, about 17,000 litres of wheat or barley every couple of days. Now I may have 98,000 litres, but if I've got 4 of those and we're getting through 17,000 litres every couple of days, I'm not going to get through the winter. I would have to buy chicken feed in. So I'm wondering whether or not I don't know what to do, because it means I won't be able to get on to doing, like, unless I buy chicken feed, which I could do, we're not going to have any fields that we can either buy, or if we plant them now, they're not going to be ready till next year. So we won't have anything that we can utilise until then. So whatever wheat and barley I've got in storage at the moment is all I've got, which is frustrating really, I suppose. Yeah. I'm only in my 2nd year. I guess that's the thing to remember as well. Let's flip that around. Yeah, I'm only in my 2nd year, so I guess as we roll through more harvests, I'm only at the point now where I've got bigger fields, and the fields I bought had crop in them before, which was a bonus to buying them. So now I'm in the year where they're mine, and I can now do what I want with them. It's just whether or not I can maintain it long enough. Back around that, just a second. You can see it's a lot greener bottom left over that particular soil type than this one. Anyway, yeah, so I know I'm all over the place. I'm doing these corner bits, the bits that are kind of sticking out. And then hopefully if I can sort out some of these waterways, it will just mean, whereas these bits at the moment are sticking out, if I can join this one to that one and there as well, I don't know, it just might make it a bit more fluid for so mind you, we've got a lot of water in that one. I would have kind of isolated ponds then, which I don't suppose would be too much of a problem. We'll have a look. It could get expensive, so I'll do what I can afford to. And as I said before, you may look, you know, I'm making good money now, which is great. But the problem is, with the more money and bigger farm and that kind of thing, you have bigger plans and you want bigger machinery, and that bigger machinery and the bigger plans cost a lot more money. As I'm finding with doing the liming, I'm getting through a lot of it. So that plan early on to do all that rock picking for all those farmers has actually paid out. I mean, that lime production is more than paid for itself. Not that lime's overly expensive, but it would have cost me a bit of money. Liming is done. As I was saying, I've done the first 30,000. Next 30,000 is going in. I would imagine we're going to use a chunk of that. Now, for those of you that are worrying about what I'm saying I'm going to do, we are going to be drain tiling, kind of. I kind of just had an idea. I thought I would give it a go. Well, it might work. So what the plan is, Big Ron's going to bring his. We haven't got an excavator. We've got the JCB backhoe. I think he's bringing his bulldozer, and they're going to bring some earth out. So what we'll do is we'll fill the ditches. But what we're going to do before we fill the ditches, we're going to put pipe in them. So the pipe is like little slotted pipe that allows water to drain through, but nothing else. That'll be in the bottom. So they will still remain as washouts, waterways, but will be covered over up. So it's kind of a split between fixing waterways, culverts and drain tile. Oh, that was the other thing I was going to say as well. Not only are we going to be adding earth and stuff in, because we're going to be clearing, this is the field 43 I've got a cultivating contract on. We've got a couple of culverts which are blocked. So the culverts, that's why we get the back. I've got Ron bringing the backhoe, because we've got a couple of culverts, or at least one I know of, that we need to clear. So that's what we're going to be doing. It's a little bit different, and it's you know. So Big Ron's fairly, I wasn't aware of a Big Ron until recently. I was having a chat to the Saskatchewan at Mafia, and Brenda and Larry were chatting away, and I was saying about the amount of washouts and waterways and the culverts and that kind of stuff, and they said, oh yeah, you want to speak to Ron? Ron's the man. He'll sort you out. So Ron lives here. That's where he keeps all of his gear and he works out of. If we need haulage done, oh, hang on, he's up. What's speed? What's the speed limit? Oh, Bill, look. I've been caught enough time speeding. Can't afford another one. Can't afford another one. I mustn't forget that actually. I've got my speed awareness, of course. Oh, beginning of June. 50 years old. Got to teach me how to behave. Anyway, right. So what we'll do, I'll get this back up to the farm. Ron will bring his gear out. We're going to start here on this field. I need to work out the best way of hoses. Now I think that we've got a culvert here that's blocked, but then I'll probably work my way up and around the field and we'll kind of get sorted from there. So yeah, that's the plan. And then once it's all done, then we'll plough bits we need to plough, and I'll have to do some more rock picking after that as well, I would imagine, just on those sections. And then when we move round into the next planting season, we'll be good to go. It will all be sorted. I'm just thinking that gap across there around the trees. There's just a few areas that we can do a bit of sorting out, you know. And of all the fields I did for our pH, for our liming, that one I've just done, field 31, was the best one by far. I think I used just under 50,000 litres of lime. The others I used ridiculous amounts. I need to take that off. There's an auto. Where is it? Up in the town. Up at the top, up near the fire station and police station and the gas station. I'm sure there's an auto repair place up there. Might take it up there. See what they can do with it. We'll have a look. Anyway, right. So, yeah, just wait on Ron, I guess, to bring the gear out, and we'll get cracking. Ron hath arrived. I'm down at the store. Now, like I said, this is an idea. I don't even know if this is going to work. I think it will. I don't see any reason why it won't work, but you know, we'll give it a go. Adds a little bit of something, doesn't it? Each one of these is 100. I haven't gone any longer than that. I'm just thinking stretches that we might need to fill aren't going to be. We don't need like 500 metres. I mean, I think 100 metres might be too long, but we'll see as we lay them what happens, and let's say whether or not that's going to work or not. I don't know. If I need to come back and get some more hose reel, I'll get some more hose reels. Not a problem. Okay, that should be right for that. So what we'll do is grab the hose reel attachment. Stop that there. Engine off. Strap that down. One strap will be alright on that. We'll head up. So my intention will be to lay the hose in, then cover. Yeah. What could possibly go wrong? I lost my thread completely there. Also, grab the reel. Yeah, I'm just hoping this is going to work. So we'll run the reels out, and then we'll. I've got myself a wrench, so I should be able to move them. Now, for those of you watching asking what's the relevance, you may be new to the game. Like I say that a lot, but I have to allow for the fact that, you know, when I've done stuff like this before, people will ask why I'm doing it or how I've done it or how does it work. Well, there's a bit of, you know, there's a bit of entertainment, there's a bit of movie magic, there's a bit of, you know, all sorts of stuff. Is this something that will actually work in game? No, we don't have irrigation, we don't have irrigation systems, we don't have drain tile, we don't have, you know, drain pipe and that kind of stuff. It's just something I thought if I was going to do the ditches anyway, why not make it a more immersive thing, you know? And as I was doing it and what I'd already decided I was going to do, I thought, yeah, that's quite cool, that's quite immersive, I'll give that a go. I started thought, hang on a minute, hang on just a minute. If I'm going to clear a culvert out, I suppose what I could do is technically put in mini culverts, pipe work. So yeah. Oh, I know, it's bonkers. Of course it is. Oh, it's something a lot of people have mentioned, as a lot of people have said, with the pumps and hoses and with a lot of the stuff that changed when we went into FS22, with precision farming and stuff like that. A lot of people said it's something they would like to see in game. And I know, must admit, it's one thing I wouldn't mind, is irrigation. So, oh man, sorry. Irrigation systems. I think getting that centre pivot irrigation thing the other day kind of brought it back into focus again, because if you're on maps or you're in places in the world, depending on what the weather cycle is and depending what you know, if you're playing seasons on and that kind of stuff, if you get into the summer and you're running short of water, I think that would be a really cool thing to have. That not only is there necessity to fertilise, to do pH, to do herbicide if you've got to do that, but irrigation. And that would open up a whole new raft of irrigation systems and water towers and, you know, all of that. Sprinkler systems and anything along those lines. I think that would be brilliant. But anyway, that's just me, that's just my opinion. I don't know whether people would agree or not. So what we want to do, yeah, I don't know, I can't even believe I'm doing this, but let's try it. I think if I do that and that and that, just click that, it should give me the ability to put one of these on. Oh, there we go. Right, reel is on. Now I've got to remember which way it is to unwind. It will give me the option to unwind, and I'll be able to move it around a bit, I think. If I can get right down into the ditch. So what we'll do, is it down? There we go. Change to unwinding. Start unwinding. Ah, there we go. Right, so if we back up, we follow the ditch, kind of. That's kind of working. Keep moving. I'm moving. I think even 100 metres might be... Oh no, I don't know though. 50 metres? No, it might be right. Whoa. This is why they have special machines for doing this. This is actually going to work out alright, I think. Let's unwind it. Flap off the end. There we go. That's actually... I thought I'd have to move that, but that's not bad. Now what I could have done, I could attach another bit on and go a bit further. We'll start with this section first. Now what I can do, if I need to, if I go to my wrench, I don't think we're going to need to, but we can move that, we can drag it, move it around a bit if we needed to. But in all honesty, that's pretty much through. So yeah, when covered over, the water seeps through and it will hit that, and like I say, that's got little slits all the way through. That will allow the water to run through and continue on its merry way. Oh, hang on. Whoa, what's happened here? It was fine there before. Oh, don't do this. pretty sure that's not how big Ron wants his excavator taken, his bulldozer taken off. Okay, bulldozer off. No, we don't have a beacon now, do we? We don't have a beacon, so backhoe will take that off as well, because I need to get over and sort out that culvert. Chain up with this though. So this will need to go over to the culvert. So what I'll be doing, I'll be putting some earth into here, and over there taking some out, which we can then transfer from there and put into here, I guess. Like I say, it's a concept. It's a concept at the moment. Right, so what we want to do... Please work. Please work. Probably do with a bigger lorry in all honesty, but so what will be happening, this can go backwards and forwards to get earth. All the leasing and all this, paying for all this work, we will pay Ron when we're done. When it's all sorted, the process will be continuing along, so as we're doing it, payments will need to be made for deliveries of things, I would imagine. No, don't get stuck, don't get stuck. Right, so in theory, pipe is in. I can adjust the angle of that if I want to. Go right down to the ground. Can I tilt that? I don't think I can tilt it. Up, down, forwards and backwards. I don't think we've got any tilt. So what we should be able to do, oh, you know what? It only went and blooming worked. Drop that down a little bit. So with more in there, we should be able to level that straight across. Do that along the whole ditch. We need a bigger load so we can kind of fill up. I mean, in reality, I suppose it would take a while. It wouldn't be a straightforward. Okay, well, let's see what happens, shall we? We've got more to do. Why is that? Oh, left the lights on this. I'm thinking, why is that so bright? Right, so that's empty. So what we can do, let's whiz over and check on the culvert situation. So I know this one needs clearing. There might be others. To allow everything to continue to flow. Whether or not we can reach it from here or we need to do it from the road maybe. If I can pull out the way from there, we can then scoop it up maybe? I don't know, let's see if we can get down to there first. There we go, that's better. So, let's unfold the backhoe. Might not be close enough actually, but we'll see. Yep, don't make me close enough. Let's fuck out. Go. So we'll do. Oh, up higher. I know for all you excavator operators out there, there'll be a million and one things I'm doing wrong. It doesn't matter. We're getting the job done. Look, we've almost cleared it. That bit might be a little bit tricky to get to. I think I have to change the angle. What we'll do, let's fold that up. Actually getting in that time. Let's get further. We've cleared around the culvert anyway. Let's get a little bit further. There we go. Is that last little bit there? That's it. Let's have a look, shall we? There's a little bit still in there. I don't even get that cover off. Maybe if I come in from the other side, I might be able to get some more of that out. I'm going to fiddle around with that, but we've got most of it out of the way. So what I want to do now is try, I don't know if this is going to work either. We get some of this into the front bucket. Let's change trying direction. And then we'll load up the lorry and I'll try and get a few more bits clear. Right, so that's that bit done anyway. So more lorry loads to come. So we can get out of the ditch. This thing's brilliant. Loving it. Right, I'll go and get. I was just going to dump it on the floor, but there's no point if I can bring the lorry over. Yeah, so I'm going to load that up. We'll get that brought over here. I guess I could just drive backwards and forwards to the backhoe actually and just tip it into the hole, but. Now this one, I think I can. How do I do this? Yeah! Boy! I know I could. I'm finally getting to use this as well, which is really cool. When this came out, I was like, oh, that's brilliant. How am I going to use that? And I was racking my brains. And then all of a sudden I thought, oh, hang on. I mean, you could use it for rock work and stuff like that. Of course you can. If you've got a little quarry or something like that, you can do a bit of that with it. But this... absolutely spot on. Closer to that. Taking it out of there. Yeah, we pretty much, we might still be a little bit in there, but we're a lot clearer. A lot clearer. Very, very happy. I've got to use a digger. Digger. Ron and his crew have been on it. So, we have some... I don't think we have to fill, but we'll give it a go. What we can do is try. Let's get the height of this just right so we don't get caught up. Okay. Okay. So I come across more at an angle with this one. Pushing it further over. Yeah, okay. I just want one bit where I get across. It's a good shout, I think, doing the hose as well, because otherwise I just would have been filling in what potentially is a washout, is a waterway, and it would then flood across the field. So putting the pipe in there is going to still maintain the water flow under the ground. Oh, nearly across, nearly across. Well, I'm going to tip another load the other side, I think. Now that's going to be, I think our height might be off a little bit. Will it level across the other side, or do I need to come down a little bit here? Maybe. Right, we'll see in a minute. Once I've got a bit more of this done and we're possibly across the other side, and then I've got a load more to do, and hopefully by late, well, maybe by the morning. I'm just thinking now, actually, because it's going to take a little bit of time, isn't it? Keep it going. I've tipped from the dumper from the other side, so this could be one bit where we finally bridge it, potentially. Right, so if I then do it from the other side, we've done it. We've done it. It will work. Well then, you know what I'm going to be doing for a while. Spot on, spot on. Right. I will see you later. I don't know how much later. We've got more hose to put in. If I come along from this side and we tip along the edge, we can cut. We can do from both sides. We can bridge across. Brilliant. Right. See you later on. It's 5:45. First section is done. I'm very happy with how this has turned out. We're a little bit bobbly here and there, but for the most part, this snakes all the way around to the property boundary just over there, where we did the culvert, cleared the culvert out to there. Next job then, we got this whole section here, which up until now was kind of a sort of marshy, boggy area. This will extend the field. Where are we? Here. All of this section will now become filled. Now the map will probably still show as a river being here, but that will be a good thing because that shows us where our drain tile, our pipe work goes under the ground. I've got more sections to do, which I'm probably going to be doing overnight or maybe tomorrow morning. But what I'm going to do is, using the other end of the dozer, that. What I'm going to do now just go between. And like I said, I'm going over some of the bits I've cultivated and done already. Is that bringing stones up? It is bringing stones up. So I have to get the rock picker over as well. But we can now blend these two together, which I'm going to do all the other locations. I think it will work. I've got my bigger plough, I could bring that over, but as soon as I've got the ripper on the back of this, we might as well use it. Any bits I miss, I'll come back and redo, it's no problem. Maybe it'll work that way as well. Does it work that way as well? No. I just think for planting as well, it's going to make it so much easier. And the great thing is I haven't just filled in waterways, I've put the pipework in as well. So, that was one of those last minute, oh, I wonder. Let's link that across to there. I might just do a little bit of bulldozer work there. That's got a bit of a lump. We need to smooth that, I think. We'll give that a bit of a smooth. Right. Getting a straighter line across there. Excellent. It's quite a fair old pace actually. I thought it would be quite slow, but it's not. Now the only downside is, I'm pretty sure, when I did the new section over here, where I ploughed that bit out, which had the trees on it originally, which I got rid of the trees, and after the harvest I did all that, I had to, if we go down to there, I had to redo my soil sampling for it to register. So even though I've changed those sections of the field, it won't register as new, you know, crop sort of thing, unless I do that. So I've got to, once this is all done, I'm sure this one of these cost me 20 something grand for the soil samples, because of how many, it was 173 soil samples. So frustratingly, for the small section I'm redoing, I'm going to have to get the whole lot redone, I think. Pretty sure I am. Anyway, I've got more of this to do. Oh, I need to take my pickup. What time is it? I'm just wondering whether the place shuts at a certain time. Assuming, oh, is it just tyres though? I can't remember. Even if I have to ship it out, there's got to be somewhere fairly locally that will do pickup work. As you can see, the money's gone down quite a chunk. We were on what, we're in 386, 390, something like that. So I've been paying Ron, Big Ron, as we've been going. Oh, I've got a cultivating job to do as well, haven't I? Oh man, I've got so much work to do now. The day has run away with me again. Indeed, the month. But provided it doesn't hoon down with rain, it does give me a bit of work I can get on with. Which is kind of autumn, wintry work, which there's not really much else I can be getting on with at this point. Let's bring that round here. So, I'll either see when this is done, I'm rock picking, or although it's probably going to be dark by then. Just thinking, do I go over, get my cultivator and get that cultivating contract done on field 43, or should I take my pickup? Should really get this, should I get the pickup sent away, or at least started on? Could be done quicker. Oh, that's a bit of a divot there, isn't it? Might just scoop some more earth into that. Yeah, we've got quite a mound here, haven't we? Another one over there as well. Right, we can sort that out. Just need a little shovel really, just throw a bit of dirt in, level it off. It's hard to see because it's getting quite dark, but we are done here. I've lost it, where are we? There we go. All over here, all around there. It's all done. I'm moving all the equipment over now to the next section. I might do the section over there, I haven't quite decided on that yet. I've been on to... So I spoke to Brenda and Larry, and the place I thought up by the gas station is signs. It's a sign writers. For some reason I thought it was a tyre place, but it's not. It's a sign writers. They've told me to take it down to the main store. Tom, the mechanic down there, he's the local mechanic. Fantastic guy, would do a brilliant job. Just take it down to there. There's no need to worry about going to a specific place. He's a bit of a whiz kid. And loves his old cars. Rumour has it he's got I always think of Fleetwood. I always think of Fleetwood. Fleetside. Is it Fleetside? Yeah. He's got a Fleetside that he owns. So yeah, he apparently will do a fantastic job on my pickup. All sort of brand spanking new and looking fantastic. And that is. There we go. Lost it. I've lost it. There we go. Let's just hold that down. Beacons on. I have removed sections of fence all over the place now on my properties, to make it easier for getting on and off the fields in more locations than just the one or two that we originally had. I need to put some like entryways really off the main road for these. Is this going to make it up here alright? I've only done it in tractors before. Whoa, bit of wheel spin, but we got there. So yeah, what I'll do, I'll grab the pickup, we'll drive down and leave that with Tom, I think. I might grab the cultivator, I might do the cultivating off screen. Like I said, I've got a load of work to do, so probably by the morning, which will be, I would think, what do I need for cultivating? I need a job to do as we move into October, so I think, oh, that's a point, I just suddenly thought, about my silage bales. Are they ready yet? Yeah, silage. They're all ready to go. They're only 80% compact, 80% fermented this morning, so I thought it would take a whole nother day, but I suppose it is 10 past 6 in the evening, so I guess it's going to be at some point. Let's stop there. That's on enough. Open that back out. Go out to the width of the tracks-ish. Beacon's off. I'm just thinking I'm better off unloading this because it had a bit of a wobble before, didn't it, where it came off the trailer. So if we take it off the trailer now, it's good for the work that needs to be done. I can take the other stuff off later. Let's turn that off. Turn that off. I've got to find my pickup. I don't know where I left it. That's what I do need to do. Let's take the lime spreader back. And I'll see you down at the store. Oh man. In a minute. I don't know whether I'm concerned or not. What I really love, I love this engine in this. But it probably does. What are we up to? 40.6 hours. It could do with it. Yeah, it could do with a new block in it. I'm sure it will sound smooth and crisp and lovely. That's one thing that drew me to this. As soon as I turn the ignition on, oh, that just sounds fantastic. Oh, fertiliser spreading. Still got to do that. I'll get to that at some point. Right, I shall leave this here in Tom's capable hands. The question is, do I give him carte blanche to just do what he wants? This is the last time we'll see it like this. And that's it for this episode. Like I said, I've got a load more ditch work and culverts and washouts and stuff to sort out. I'll get on with that. I will see you in October, and yeah, we'll see where we go from there. I suppose I could move on to pigs straight away, couldn't I? I think I've got all the stuff to do for doing pigs. Might need to buy a plot of land, and of course by the morning we'll have a load more fertiliser as well. So I think if I sell all of it, I should be able to buy a plot of land, stick a nice big old pig pen or something on it. I might do one of the open ones. As long as it's in an enclosed area, could do. And we'll see how we go. I hope you've enjoyed it. It's something a bit different in this one. If you have, please give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.